Alright guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. We are back over in Kansas today for day number three of bodywork. Boys killed it last night. We got some good ideas. I was not going to shave the third brake light, and they kind of talked me into it last night. I looked at Mr. Derek Parrott's and Glenn. I mean, it was Glenn's truck, the little shorty first gen that they had. Theirs was shaved. Looks really good. It's gonna be a freaking street truck, whatever, so might as well do it. We've got the ability. We shaved the whole drip rail. Why would we not just do that? So we're gonna shave that today. But we're gonna kind of bring this little garage shop into its own. I want to kind of show you guys around this. It's just literally a garage. This is a little garage, but it's fully insulated, has pretty good doors on it, pretty decent lighting. We have all the lights off right now. Pretty decent lighting, got 220 outlets for like a bigger welder. It's set up to where it's kind of it's a diamond in the rough, in my opinion. I mean, it does well, and it would be very good to kind of like be able to plastic some of this off to spray something. So this is probably where a lot of projects are gonna be going down at, but we're kind of retrofitting it to be like my shop. So we got stuff for the air compressor. So there's already an air compressor over here, so we got a bunch of hose, and then we got a water separator and regulator or something like that, or a filter and regulator, I don't know which. What was it? Separator and a regulator, because we need to be able to regulate the pressure, and also we don't want any sort of water coming into our air that's going to be going to our paint gun, because that will just, obviously that makes for very, very bad things. So Colton is over here kind of messing with some stuff. We're figuring maybe potentially this back corner is a good spot for it. It's kind of open. There's our little compressor. It's kind of open, and then there's a big 220 outlet there and a normal outlet over here. So it would kind of be back out of the way right there, but that's what we are messing with. It's about, I don't know. I just uploaded the first video actually. About 3:30 right now, so we're gonna get all this stuff kind of set up so this afternoon we can go ham on the truck. I was supposed to bring my grinder and cutting wheel over here so I can cut a piece out of the door, and I forgot that, so I'm gonna hope that Matt has one and we can use his to get that knocked out tonight, hopefully get it all welded, and then put Bondo over it and try and smooth it, and it'll probably look pretty good. So that's what we're messing with right now. We're gonna put some fittings on here, and then we've got our regulator and filter and stuff. So did this end up unscrewing?
No.
It doesn't work like we thought it would, or what?
I don't want to break it.
Well, I'm not going to break it either, but I'm just curious. I know this unscrews.
I might give it another try before.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what we're messing with right now. Pretty pumped about how well this has came along. The seam is totally filled and very, very smooth. It turned out great. So this being gone will just kind of complete the whole shaved cab look. And most of you guys know that seam wraps around here. Wow, this is smooth. Jesus. But yeah, the whole way down, drip rail came to right here, and it is looking awesome. So you first gen guys that kind of pay a little bit of attention to detail, and you are actual like really first gen enthusiasts, you will probably notice that right off the bat. Guys like me and Colton and some of us, we know them up and down, so we'll see that really fast and kind of appreciate that. Hopefully it doesn't leak any water. I assume with new seals and getting the door fitted just right, we won't have any problems. The only time it's going to be in the rain is if I get caught in the rain, either driving it or hauling it somewhere, and it should be just fine. So we're going to do our best and just keep wrapping this up. Logan's goal was he wants to shoot primer really bad. He just wants to paint. So the very first thing we're going to do is primer the cab itself. The doors are both off, and so we got to get the third brake light shaved, and then I'm going to go ahead and slap some Bondo, which I'm getting Bondo happy, I guess, but there's a little dent right here and a little dent right here, and rockers are very, very stout. This isn't going to pull out by any means, so we're just going to put Bondo over it and send it. So that's the only other part that really needs it. The rest of it is looking awesome. This is actually pretty thin up here. Smooth, very nice. Yeah, it's a good transition there. Very happy with it. Can't thank Andy and Logan and Colton and Evan enough for all just being here. Colton's been having to work some, but he's not working today, so we're gonna be in full swing today messing with stuff as well. And Andy will be out here, I assume. Logan and Evan will be too. So we'll be out here just hanging out and doing some work, and we will kind of take you guys along with us, see what we get done today. All right, get these off. Take the turd gin. All right, we are leaving the house right now because the boys didn't tell me that we were out of 80 grit, and we need 80 grit. So luckily, Napa has a roll of 80 grit. Let's shut the toolbox. So we're gonna run to town, go to Napa, get some 80 grit. What do you need food? You hungry? I'm getting hungry.
I can go for some food.
I can go for some food. The third gen could go for some diesel as well. So we've got a lot of stuff we're gonna get once we get in here in the cave. This thing does very well for lighting whenever we get in here, because anything else, you couldn't even see my face. But we're gonna go grab some of that, and I think all we're gonna get for now is 80 grit, because we've got everything else. So yeah, we're gonna grab 80 grit and that's it, unless we need anything else for the compressor while we're there. We might have to see about that, but yeah, we'll be back.
Evan, what are we about to do?
We are about to weld this plate in that I just cut out. Andy actually drew it up, but we're gonna we already cut it out. We fit it up there, put some tape behind there. Now we're gonna do a little welding action. At least tack it into place so it'll stay up there, and then kind of fit it to where we need it to be. Use a little grinder. I don't know, just make it look like it was never there. Fill those two holes on the sides with a couple tacks and call her good. I'm gonna try and find a good ground, and hopefully that'll work, and we'll get to tacking. Hopefully I got that piece of metal clean enough as well. There's still a little bit of paint on it, but it won't matter, I hope. Alright guys, so it is coming along. You guys saw we welded on the cargo light, whatever. And tonight is sponsored by Bush Light, basically, is what we got going on here. But it is basically gone. You guys can see the low spot right here. We're gonna fill that one more time and then go ahead and block it, and it should be good to go. And then I'm working on the rocker down here. We gotta fill that a little bit. I gotta finish knocking it down. I took an exam real quick while Andy knocked it down, and now I'm gonna try and smooth it out with the block. And then we got one big spot right there. I say big, but it's not huge. That spot right there, we're gonna fill that and sand that down, and then we will be calling it good, because then we will be ready to primer for the most part, I believe, as the rest of the cab is ready to go. And we've got some graffiti on my door over there. Hashtag first gen problems. And other nonsense. But it's looking good, so I'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, for real. You filming? Alright, so we've got an update for you. Third brake light, or cargo light technically is what it really is. Came along great. We got it smoothed out, and I mean, you guys saw the welding. Wasn't that pretty, but it works. We filled in all the pinholes and then ground it down so everything was smooth. I did warp the top of the cab just a little bit. We tried to keep air on it so it wouldn't, but it happens. Nobody's gonna see the roof. I don't really care. So we got Bondo on it, and I got it all smoothed out, so let's take a look at it. So, as you can see, looks really smooth. We didn't have to fill that much. Really, it was just putting it in the spot where it was, kind of where the piece of metal sat back down in there. It ended up working really well. The metal wasn't too thin where I ended up grinding it down. And we had to get this body line that's kind of above it. There's like 4 different body lines right here, which make it kind of hard, and 2 of them are only like that thick. So, yeah. It filled pretty well. I'm happy with it. It's really smooth, and you'll probably never know it was there. So we got that done. That was a big goal for the night, was to get that accomplished, and I hit that with 220 on the block, and we were good to go there. So they ended up setting up, or like Colton, I think he set up our air compressor, so we're closer with it, which we might as well look at that setup, because a lot of you guys are going to want to know like what the heck you use to like shoot primer in a shop or something. And you got your normal air compressor. Had to go get fittings and stuff. We got a water separator and a regulator, and that's just to regulate the pressure, and then a leader hose to the compressor. So that's what we're gonna end up spraying with, and it should work just fine. And now we're working on the rocker, and there's only 2 dents, so which it's laid on thick right now, so that's kind of a bummer, but we are gonna knock that down with the orbital and only get the 2 spots that we really needed on. And then we're done with the cab. So it's gonna be time to primer it. And that means all this dust that's on everything that you can see, we're gonna roll the first gen out, air hose it off, and clean this place out, and then hang plastic so Logan can primer. And it's gotta be really clean, because this primer matters a lot, since it's gonna be the very first, I don't know, like coat since we've finished the cab. So this is gonna be the first go on that. And we're going to see if we need to fix anything else, but I believe it is very straight. It's looking really good, but the primer is going to tell the truth here. So that's a quick update. I will let you guys know where we get with the rocker, but that's really the last thing we got to do, and then we are ready to roll. So yeah. Alright guys, what's up? So I lied. We are back, and it is the next day, but I'm back here detailing. And the boys, there is not gonna be anybody there to film. So what happened was, this evening the boys pulled the first gen out of the shop or garage over there, got the air hose, blew it all off, got that clean, and then they cleaned the whole garage. Basically pulled everything out, swept everything first, and kind of, well, first they blew off everything, like got the air hose and blew off everything, so it was all out on the ground. Ended up brooming it all out and then mopping the floor and getting it clean. So it was going to be, there's going to be spick and span for whenever we spray primer even. So not just paint, but we want it to be clean whenever we're spraying primer. And then what else did they do? Next up is going to be putting plastic up, and they plan on doing that maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I won't be around for that, but yeah, so that's gonna wrap up this video. As you guys saw, big stuff happened very fast with the body work on the cab. That was the majority of the work. A lot of it was the cab because there's a lot of surface left, and now we're kind of closing in on stuff, and it's great making big strides like that. I hope you guys like the video, and just like I always say, if you guys like what's going on and the build, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, or watch the rest of the playlist. Put on your post notifications because I try and upload as often as I can. There's always action coming on the 89, and we're just trying to get you guys some quality content and kind of what it's like for a normal person that just doesn't have all the money in the world to spend to, I don't know, throw a truck together and make something cool. Because even you guys can do this if I can do it, I promise. So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. So until next time on the Old School Crew, we will see you boys later. Go ahead, keep kicking it old school, and we're going to get out of here.